Hey, Fluffy. Yeah, Kira. Is feeling better. Is feeling better. Um, like I put the cream that my friend that is a doctor. She recommended it to me, because unfortunately, like in my country here, and I believe that probably is everywhere. When it comes to emergencies, this is not an emergency, but if you want to go to a hospital in the doctor, like there's a lot of cases of dengue, that we have been dealing with a lot of dengue and with a lot of other situations. So it's impossible to get like for a doctor to see you right away. So this is why I was asking for advice from you guys. And also because um, like I was born here in the city, but I had mothers and also like grandmothers from the countryside, from the province. And when this happens, they have the recipe, they have their, and it's natural. Actually, they know more about spiders than I. Actually, I never seen a huge spider, and in their case they had experience in it, and I believe they have their own remedy. So this is why I was asking if some of you could have a, because it's like Marushka said, like actually like you don't go to the doctor to for um because actually it's something that is not that it's not dangerous. It can be dangerous. This is why I have a sting here, and it's like I have a huge rash all over. Like it starts from a region, and then it's sort of like it's like it continues over here. It's like it spreads. But it's occasionally that I have this very awkward feeling in my arm, like it's like it feels like there's some tingling effect also in my hand, but I'm feeling okay. Um, and also, I think that it has to do with the mind. When you think like, oh my God, I have this infection, because I had this for like 3 days. It's not that it happened yesterday, guys. I had it. I show it to people, and they thought that I actually had a bruise, like I hurt myself, and I also thought that it was a bruise. And then yesterday, when we were like checking it out, we saw that it has like a dot. So we were like, oh, you were bitten. Like definitely that's an insect bite. Since it happened, like I woke up like this. I was like, okay, this is the bug. And also my skin is so reactive, is so sensitive that even when mosquitoes bite me, like I get these huge rashes in my skin, because I'm allergic to bug bites. Actually, when I do get sometimes bitten by mosquitoes, people actually they are like, "Oh my God, what is going on with your skin? Like, are you okay?" Because I sort of developed this huge red rash, and people get like, "Oh my God, like, is this a mosquito bite or is there something something else?" And no, actually, it's because I'm allergic. So probably I didn't see the spider, guys. So it could be a spider and it could be something else, another bug. I don't know. But yeah, it feels like when it sting, it left a mark. So definitely, yeah, it was something. But now I'm using that cream that they prescribed to me, and they said that if I have any kind of like sense of numbness in my fingers or in my arm, that I could have like I think that in over there, guys, it's not ibuprofen, it's the other one. is Tylenol. I guess you guys call it Tylenol. We call it paracetamol. I don't know if it's in English, it's the same. But and you know what? I think that what makes it even more uncomfortable is that it's on my left arm. It's over here. So I'm left-handed. So I use my this side all the time. So obviously, if I don't leave it rest, I also could feel a bit, sore because it's not that it happened here, so I will let my arm rest a bit, and I will be like, okay, just stay here, don't move. Since I'm left-handed, I'm all the time like moving my arm. H down. Paracetamol. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Marushka. Thank you to everyone that you gave me your point of view. All of you, thank you so much for taking your time to respond. I know is our Discord chat is not to talk about those things. It's just that I was like, okay, like while I'm waiting to get an appointment, and actually my friend that was a doctor, she was like, okay, if you feel better using this cream and also like using the compress, and if I have the paracetamol and I feel better, that I don't have to go to the doctor tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that it has to do because my neighbors from the other side, they are working. They are building something, like they are moving some stuff that they have on their side of the house, on their side of the roof. So probably they are sort of moving things, and maybe some bugs or something, maybe a spider, what, it's sort of like it went through my roof, and I also changed the place of my bed. Like I changed my bed from where it was when it happened. I changed it to the other side, just in case. And today we're going to uh, do like we're going to spray some things to evaporate those bugs, just in case. But I don't know, guys, because if I think about that night, um, like when the day after, I think that day was very chill. Like I actually had my arm covered. Like I usually, like, I sleep under the covers. I sleep in the under the sheets. Between the sheets. I'm not someone that I'm just sleeping. It has to be very hard for me to not use any of the bed sheets. So I wonder, how, if it was like a spider or something like that, how it got in there, and how it just bit my arm and not a part of my face. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Could it have been another bug during the day? The one that I usually see, and that those freak me out because they are like, you do see that they have these small, like, it's not wings, but they are like rounded, and their shield is very harsh. I don't know what's the name of that bug, but I did see it around my house. It's like very black, and it has like antennas, and it has the little legs that it seems like it stings with those legs. Um, it looks like a beetle bug, but that one looks like it would sting. I remember I saw one once and I stepped on it. Maybe it's that one. Because I'm very sensitive to in my sleep, I'm very sensitive. If I would have seen something like walk in me, like I would have seen it. I would have like instantly, even if I was asleep, I would have tried to, I was also thinking like, could it be like a bug that maybe, like sometimes I sleep with my cats sometimes. So I'm like, okay, like it could it be something related to my cat? And no, no, the poor thing, she was sleeping somewhere else. No. Mm. I don't know if it's the same, but we have these big beetles which are very slow. I was remembering the name of the one you said. They have antennas lucky from our moves. Yeah, they are like black, like dark, and just rounded, and it seems like they have like a very strong exterior. Like, even when you step on it, it's not like when you step on a cockroach, that it just splashes. No, these are like, it seems like they are much more covered. Um, I can't believe we are talking about this. But yeah, guys, like I was like I couldn't believe. I was like, oh my God, like why is this happening? Like stop it. Like, I was recovering from flu. I was doing better. I was recovering my voice. I was, getting back with work, finishing some things. And all of a sudden I woke up with this. I'm like, when you just, I just cannot catch a break, guys. I cannot catch a break. And I wish if they could have bit me on my right arm. So, I could use my hand and, I could lift things and do things without feeling like it hurts. Um, but yeah. I will be okay, guys. I'm okay. Like, it's been a few days. So if it was like something like, potentially dangerous for me, I would have felt something. Like, I just feel the soreness and the rush in the zone where it happened. But these little guys don't bite. They are harmless. So it's probably not, I don't know. It's not that then. Mm. Every season is not letting anyone rest. I swear. I swear. Like, I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, the change of weather today, we woke up to a very sunny day. It's sunny, but till yesterday we were with rain. We had rain. So every season is like being on high speed train constantly. Yeah, it's like, stop hitting me, like stop attacking me, like life, please stop attacking me. Please be gentle with me. Like, I'm recovering from a flu. My father is recovering from a flu. Like, what else do you want? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what more life was. Oh. So how are you guys? Another thing that could be also adding a little bit to all the issues is probably me having my period soon. Probably that could also add, being a female and also having these things. Oh my God. It seems like we talk about health things, health issues, like not issues because, actually there's people that have like bigger problems. So, um, but when you're recovering and you're like, okay, I'm okay, like I'm doing okay, I guess I'm okay. Every season really said, if our people never rest, nobody will in our season. I'm a little sick, so I got home a little earlier. Oh, really? How, what, is it a flu also, Akira, or is it something else? Yeah, actually, I began an hour earlier because, here it is starting to get darker sooner. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this so I can end 1 hour earlier, so then I can cook dinner and get ready for the next day. Because sometimes, when it gets to 5 my time, that usually we are like 2 hours. So sometimes I finish at 8, and then I have to rush and cook dinner, and sometimes I end up like having dinner at 10. So usually here in Argentina, we have this custom of having dinner like very late in comparison to other countries. I know that there's other countries that they have dinner at 7, for example. Well, we don't. We have dinner at around 8, 9. Like I believe that at 8 we start cooking. But I think that it has to do with sometimes at what time we get out of work. We do have people that they have the usual work schedule that is 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 6. But for example, in my case, that I had worked for retails for a very long time, and I had worked for different stores in different malls. You know that usually the malls they close at 10 here, 10 p.m. Um, they are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I remember that when I would be working with some brands, some different brands, and I will have to stay until it closes. So usually, like I will have the morning free, but then I will have to go for the late shift. Uh, that it would be to stay until 10 p.m. So I would get home like around midnight. Sometimes I wouldn't even bother to cook, but usually I would cook even though it's midnight. Because you do get out, like you do get off work feeling hungry, especially when you had been talking and seeing people all day. Like sometimes when you're at work, you're like, oh, I'm not going to cook anything when I get home because I'm tired and it's almost midnight. But you do get hungry when you get off work. It's like you recover you reconnect with the hunger. 10 p.m. Yes, yes. I did that for like a decade. I did that. That I worked at the mall. That the good thing about this mall is that it was very close to my home. So it was easier for me to get there and to also, this is why I would take the late shift, because I would know that it wasn't that far away from my house. But yes, 10 p.m. is very late. And also there's customers at 10 p.m. There's people like you have to remind people like 5 minutes to 10 that they have to go home, because if it's up to them they will stay. Like if they don't see the hour, they are like, if they can just hang around and just you know walk in there, they could be forever in there. And there's customers. This is the thing when you are a salesperson, that usually in the morning shift, there's not much people entering the stores. But on the late hours, yeah, there are more customers. So it's like if your paycheck has to do, or your commission, you get paid for how much you sell. It will be good for a salesperson to do the night shift or the late shift. At what time do you typically have lunch and breakfast? Breakfast when I have to go to work, when I have to see my clients, usually I have breakfast at 6 a.m. And I get on my way to work at 8. But I like to wake up early to have lunch, not lunch, to have breakfast at peace, and also because I have to have my thyroid medicine, so I have to wait a few minutes so it makes effect, and then I can eat. Um, but yeah, when I don't have to see my clients like on the morning shift, I usually have like breakfast at 9, 10. It depends. But lunch, lunch it would be like around 12. Not, yeah, 12, 1 p.m. But if I would be working, usually it's like around 3 p.m. and I still haven't had lunch. It depends if you have people that covers your shift, so you can go and have lunch. It depends. This is the reason why when I told you that when I used to work like at the mall before, just when the pandemic hit, I was so skinny. I was super skinny. Um, because you are walking all day, or you are walking standing on your feet, or you have to go here and there, and you have to, walk all the time, like go upstairs, like go down, carry some products, like making real like physical labor. um, and you probably are so busy that sometimes you forget to eat, or you eat but you don't even connect with eating. You are just like, you're just counting the minutes, so you can so you will be like, okay, I have to get back now, or I have to go back, and you're not that connected with, okay, I'm going to sit down and have a proper meal. You are so stressed. So I think that I remember when I used to tell people that I had thyroids, people wouldn't believe me that I had thyroids, because I actually looked like slim, normal. Um, and now that I'm usually like I am. It's like I work seated most of the time. Even when I have different clients, and also like I have the office very close to my house, like a few blocks away from my house. Um, and I usually the paperwork, everything that I do is seated. Mostly, it's a secretary kind of work. Um, this is why I gain weight, because I wasn't like I'm seated. It's not the same. Um, and also because sometimes I do my work from home. So usually, like, when you have breakfast at your house, you can be like, oh, today I'm going to cook this, or today I'm going to do this with my breakfast. I'm going to eat something delicious. And sometimes when you're at work, you just, I don't know, for me it was like, people have coffee, for us here is mate. Like, we are all day having mate, all day. But yeah. And also the baguette, the cup with sitting a lot. Actually, I'm very, like, I would say like I'm fast, but um that usually the people that have thyroids, they say that the thyroid disease makes you feel like, I met some people that it makes them feel sleepy, or it makes them feel like they are a bit slow. Um, For me, it was the opposite. Like, actually, like, for me, if I start the day, like, I would prefer the morning shift, because I start the day, like, for me, it's really easy to wake up. I don't have an issue with waking up early, doing my things, like, having a proper, getting to work early, and do my things. I have so much energy available. Like, I have so much energy, and I like to go here and there and there, and just do it. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, for me, I love to be like this. I love to be busy. I love to have something to do. um Also, I love to see people. I'm a very, it's not that I'm outgoing, but I'm so used to working with people. So for me, it's like, I like to be with people. Like, for me, if my work, it has to do with people, I love it. um but also paying attention to details, um and I love it. I love it. But I noticed that, for example, if during the day, if I start, like, very energized and just doing a lot of things, then when it hits 6 p.m., when it hits 6 p.m., all of a sudden, if you start, like, if you interact with me, you will start noticing that my energy goes down. Like, it's like you will see me, like, just being there and staring at the blank point, just being like this, like, you are slowly losing me. Like, I'm losing the concentration, or I'm losing the speed, or, even my eyes get a bit like, um, I don't know, like, they shine differently, a bit watery also, the eyes. And I just become very quiet all of a sudden. And my coworkers had always told me, like, okay, this is the hour, this is the moment. Like, we are losing her. Like, because I'm usually very energetic, but, it hits 6 p.m. and I stop losing the energy. I swear, guys, it's like I'm slowly, like, going down, 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 down in energy. That it feels like, if you don't ask me to wake up and pay attention, like, I could fall asleep with my eyes open. So I guess that's the part of the thyroid, of the exhaustion, that probably at the beginning of the day I don't feel it, but around the second half of the day I start to feel it. I start to feel how tired I am, how, I'm not that energetic anymore. It's like I'm on saving mode. I'm losing my energy. Battery low at 6 p.m. Mm, yeah. I'm so grateful to my body. I actually, like, this is why I told you guys, like, I have lupus. I know people that has lupus. I know people that have thyroids, and of course, that when you have lupus, that is when you have, like, um, um a low immune system. It works against you. Um, Sometimes you can get another diseases, another illnesses. Another different illnesses that are autoimmune as well. But at the same time, I always believe that it has to do with the way you have your lifestyle. Um, I take care of my lifestyle, and also I try um, to be not so nervous, because stress and nervousness um, triggers a lot of diseases. It triggers a lot of diseases. And of course, that when we are, you know, young people, and we are, expected to function normally in a society where there's a lot of rules, and we have to be respectful, and we have to be responsible, we have to show up, we have to do our, you know, our part in the society. But sometimes you also have to know your limitations. You have to know, like, okay, like, yeah, I can be very enthusiastic, but if my body doesn't accompany me, I cannot go anywhere. So sometimes you have to, slow down. even if you have like the most healthy body, like take care of your body, because your body is your tool. Take care of your body. Take care of what you digest, I would say. Take care of what you digest. Like, take care. I'm not a person that I will tell you like, oh, I eat a lot of vegetables, I eat a lot of fruit. Um, no, no, I'm not a healthy, eater, but I'm very aware that there are some things that I could live without. For example, uh, um, you know, um, those sweet drinks like Coke, and other sodas. Those I could live without. The bakery, from bakery, I do love bread a lot. I do love bread a lot, and gluten is my worst enemy, but I love it so much. I love I love bread. I love bread. I cannot be without bread. Um, but I also have to be like, okay, you can eat, but don't eat in excess. Probably that's also my Capricorn nature. That I'm very good at restricting myself. Like, I don't have a problem if you tell me like, okay, Vanessa, you're going to have a diet, and you cannot eat this. You're not going to eat this. Um, I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Okay, guys, I'm not going to keep like ranting about my health issues, but I hope that all of you are doing okay also in your own body and your own health. um, and yes, if you're healthy, guys, like just body, soul, mentally, just take care of yourself and just feel blessed that you are healthy. Please, like don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted, because it's awful to live a whole life having to live a life, always relying on medication. So, when you think about all the awful things in your life, just remember that unless you have health, that's that's more important. That you have your health. Yes, gluten, dairy, and soy are worse for thyroid and autoimmunity. Yeah, I know, Marushka. But here we are a society that we eat bread every day, and it's not the bread, the one that you usually eat, the square one. It's not the kind of bread we have. The homemade bread, like I know, guys, that you are from France. You have the baguette. Well, we have those in tiny versions, and those are the kinds of bread that we consume. The baguette, that's the kind of bread the white bread, that's the kind of bread that we consume. And we have these bakeries that sell it, like they sell you like a kilogram. They sell you like a lot of pieces of it, and you have that, like we have it on breakfast. We make toast with it. We have it with also with during the lunch, because we also have like a lot of dishes that have a lot of sauces, like spaghetti, and just another kind of stews that also have a lot of soup. So we consume a lot of bread. We consume a lot of bread. Pan dulce. That you can totally get rid of personally. Yeah, we Capricorn placement people, we have an issue with dairy. I don't know what is it, but our system just cannot tolerate it. Yeah, we have baguette and other breads too. Bread is big in France as well. I tried gluten-free breads. It's not bad. Yeah, we have that also from uh, I guess we have it because of our, we heritated that from European like immigrants that came here, and also Italians and French people, and also we have a lot of German people as well here, colonies. So they also introduce us the love for the sweet desserts, and those sweet dishes, and but bread, we cannot live without bread. It's like it has to be in our house. It has to be, and it has to be. Guys, it's not just like, because I see that people, for example, in America, they buy these bags of this bread that is the typical bread, the square one bread, Um, but usually that's not the bread that we consume. We consume the baguette one, and those you go once a day, usually very early in the morning, and you buy for the day. So we are big in consuming. Mm. Oh, this is a Capricorn. For me, it's just that I dislike it. My mother's Cap racing, and she's not a dairy person. I never noticed the connection. Yeah, yeah. For me, I showed that I had symptoms of allergies ever since I was like 4. But I think, honestly, I think that it has to do with, maybe because we Capricorn placements, we have some things when it comes to our bones. So that usually they say dairy, it has to do with calcium and all those things, and I don't know why we reject it. And I think that also it has to do with the mother, because the milk, it counts, is an association with the mother, and since Capricorn is very much father, like a bit rough when it comes to absorbing the nurturing aspect. I think that it makes sense that it's like we consume dairy, but then we're like, oh, I don't need it. It's like you're rejecting the warmth of the love that comes from the mother, the nourishment of the mother milk. um I probably think that it has to do with that. But we also, I believe that with Capricorn placements, we just are, I think that Capricorn placement people, they are very, we come to the world with a lot of problems, especially, with a lot of things that it has to do with health conditions, just some allergies, things that we cannot consume, things that we cannot tolerate, we are just very delicate in that aspect. So, dairy also probably is something that we develop a sort of allergy to it. We just don't want it. Um, and just, I don't know. Mm, mm. In France, there are so many dairy products and yogurt with so many flavors. Let's not even mention cheese. Oh, yes, cheese. All right, the bones connection. True, a second. Being the opposite of cancer. We are not milk type of people. Yeah, yeah, because it's part um of also the Capricorn child wanting to be self-sufficient. It's like, okay, I don't need it. I don't need you to feed me, like, or breastfeed me. Like, okay, I'm my own person now. Yeah. And for me, I think that it kind of makes sense because I used to love milk as a child. I used to have it um in a bottle. I used to have like milk in a bottle, and I would love it. But I remember that it was a very abrupt change because I had to go to kindergarten, but free for 3 years old. Very early back then. And in the kindergarten, or this sort of nursery place, I don't know, or I don't know if it was like a place where they were going to take care of me, because my parents were working. So they were like, okay, we will take her, but the kids here, they don't. The condition is that they don't drink milk from the bottle because they have to know how to drink from a cup. And I guess I wasn't ready, like when my mom took it away from me and replaced it for a single cup. And I took a sip of it and I was like, done. I was like, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it in any shape. I don't want it in like, I don't want anything that it has to do with milk or dairy or anything. Like I put everything, like everything dairy related, I put it on a list of the things that I don't want it anymore. Like you took it away from me, like now I don't want it. So, so I always been very stubborn, guys. I always been very stubborn. So, and when I say no, is no, is no. Um, and I guess my mom just grew tired of fighting with me and trying to force me to to drink milk. But I was like, no, I don't want it. It's either on the bottle or I don't want it. Like, I think that this is why I see now I see people that they have their children and they make the birth charts of their children. You know, they're like, oh, okay, I want to know my future's child big three. You know, I want to know their sun, their rising, and their moon. I think that if my mom had those tools, and if she would have believed in astrology, she would have known like more and understand a bit more my own emotional processes. You know, that you cannot just introduce change into a Capricorn baby like this. You have to go slow. It's a process. You know, you cannot be, maybe it was, you know, her moon in Aries that she was like, okay, like I will get rid of the bottle. Here, there's the cup. It's the same milk. In her rationalization, maybe she was like, it's the same. Drink it. Look, this cup is so beautiful. It's so cute. Drink from it. And for me, it was like, no, it's not the same milk. This is not the same experience. I don't like it. I don't want it. So, mm. Another light that we need calcium. For bones, we need actually vitamin K2, increases bone density and prevents osteoporosis. Yeah, you know, Mariuszka, that I learned like very like a few years ago. I went to have, you know, also this density, analysis. And the doctor, the of traumatology, the specialist, he told me, you know, because I was telling him like, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with my bones because I haven't had, you know, dairy products ever since I was 4. I don't consume them. I have like allergies. I have intolerance. And he was like, you know what, you know, that dairy, like that you have to consume every day, the calcium is like, no, what you consumed until you were 4, it was good enough. Like you don't need to eat it. Like, you know, he was telling me about that. So I was like, look, mm, yes, beer charts can be very useful when it comes to children. I wish my parents knew about it too. True. The calcium propaganda is way over the top. Yeah, Fluffy, it's pains. Is alpine alone insulin bread contains way less gluten, better for autoimmunity. Oh, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, those ads for milk. And you know, now you know that there's a lot of conditions of people having stomach issues or having like digestive problems. You know that the first thing that they are like, okay, you have to get rid of this is dairy products. So in some aspects, I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, one part of myself that I stop consuming dairy products, somehow I help my own health. Like I improve my health, even though, you know, I have my issues as well. It's not that I'm 100% perfect, but, you know, maybe if I had continued consuming dairy products, maybe I would have had other issues. Okay, guys. Akira, you acted already. She's unbelievable. Like she is so fast. Like I just admire her so much because I'm like, yeah, you go, you block it. Because we don't know, we don't know who these people are. Like, usually we are the same people here in the community, and the people that are more shy and don't want to interact, they're just watching. But usually it's us, the same people that we talk every day. So yeah, the ones that just enter and are like, hello, hola, hi, those are absolutely. Dairy contains growth hormones after age of 2, 3, and we don't need it. I got into astrology because I wanted to understand personalities based on the zodiac back in college while studying psychology. I thought it would help me understand behavior patterns. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to them. I just love it. I think that out of all the other and personality analysis, for example, the MBTI, I don't get it. The why Koreans are so, like, they went from the blood type archetypes to the MBTI. It's like, what is your MBTI? And the MBTI is so far away from accurate. It changes all the time. I don't know why they take it. Like, remember that? I swear I never read those two in the same sentence before. The other day we were laughing about it. Remember when we were like about to end the live? The person that asked for that, we were like, we just had no other reaction but to laugh. Because it's like, where, why, where, like, why? We didn't understand why those two. I never saw those two related. I don't know. Jisoo and Taeyong. Sometimes I want to talk to them. Yeah, I wish they let go of MBTI and get into astrology. But actually, MBTI is accurate, or at least cognitive functions. It's just the tests that are inaccurate. Okay. I get it. Yeah, I think that is the test. Yes. It depends where you take the test. They were in C's once, like back in 2017. I remember, but just like, there were the days, I believe that interaction, that it was also got 7 Jin Young was in there. Daddy is like saying, I don't know, Jisoo and NCT Do Young. They were also in C. Like, so that's like you wanting to travel back in time and just grabbing the very first Blackpink and a BTS member interaction ever, and you wanting to see. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. But yeah, thank you for mentioning it, Akira, because I actually forgot that happened. But yeah, I remember. Maybe because Jesus jealous that we stole her girlfriend or something. I heard that the most popular test is actually the most inaccurate one, so it doesn't have the reputation of MBTI near the accuracy. Yeah, I don't remember mine, but I think that mine, it was kind of accurate. But I don't know. I just think that it's not authentic because people are so I think that you can have people that is like, okay, I will take my time to answer this, but then there are people that just take that moment to overthink the answer. And when you overthink the answer, you are not being yourself. I remember, I don't know if it was an MBTI um, test. I know it was a personality test. People from HR, they told me that it was a test that would measure your competencies or how competent you would be, something like that. When I used to do the training for to be a boss in my at my work, and they would make this sort of career adaptation, and they would make personality tests, and it was like back in 2018. And I remember there were a lot of options. There were a lot of questions, a lot of options. People would freak out about, like, especially the ones that would be like an imaginary circumstance, and you would have to be like, okay, if you saw a homeless person, what would you do, or what would you think of them, something like that. There was like very weird questions, like if you saw someone, if in an interview you would see someone like dressing like a homeless person, and then you would see someone wearing a suit, like what would be your opinion on them, to sort of see what kind of person you would be, if you would be observant, if you would be judgmental. But it was so weird. And I remember that people were so competitive in that environment. I remember we were like 5 people, and everyone was so, it's like they wanted to cheat the test to look like, oh, I'm the greatest person, I can be a boss because I have, I'm so intelligent. And it's like, what did you answer in this? What was your question in this? Oh, I think I got mine right. And it's not about intelligence, it's about your behavior. It's about your pattern of behavior. That's why I remember they would, after we finished, we would gather, like, okay, what do you think about the test? And I remember I was the one that finished it first. Everyone took like an hour to end it, and I took like 20 minutes, because it's a personality test. It's not like they're actually like, you are like, it's not a math exam. It's not a geography exam. It's about you. So you shouldn't be so hesitant about answering something about you. Like, oh, but people for career, they are, they are so deceiving, especially the ones that want to get, the higher positions. Oh, they are so inauthentic, so inauthentic. Akira is in City 10. Yeah, she's. Um, mm. That's why tests have to be written a certain way, and why it's very easy to have inaccurate tests. Yes, and even when you are trying to be as honest as possible, it's hard to answer objectively, because sometimes you're like, it depends on the situation. Yeah. Also, guys, today I'm wearing this mic, and you know that this shuts down sometimes. It runs out of battery, and sometimes I'm being left alone here talking by myself. So if you notice that I that you got no sound, please put the red flags on the chat so I can see it, and I will change it to this, to the wire one. Um, because with this I can move better. I can move, and I'm not worrying that I'm going to, because it gets in the cable gets in my way. But this in less than 2 hours is going to shut down. I know it. Yeah. And also because I have to use it, guys. I already bought it. I know it's so annoying for me to use because I think that is so not trustworthy. Like I shouldn't be worrying. Like it's not like I'm like 4 hours. This is like sometimes I'm like two. I'm like even getting to 2 hours, and it sometimes it just you know it the battery runs out. So it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so low in quality. It shouldn't be like that. But I have to use it. I already bought it. I already invested in it. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you who I have on my list of these breakups. I thought that more people were going to put their favorites, and I'm like looking that this is more like K-drama related, I believe. There are some people in here I don't know, but I'm going to read for them and why it didn't work out, why their relationship ended. But K-pop couples, I guess we don't have much K-pop couples, but we start with Lee Sung Kyun and Nam Joo Hyuk. Then I have this guy that I remember, this guy, the Han So-hee guy, Ryu Jun-jeol and Hyeri, his ex. Then I have Lee Dong-wook and Bae Suzy. And then I have Bae Suzy and Lee Min-ho. I know that she dated Lee Min-ho also. Then I have Girls' Generation, Yuna and Lee Seung-gi. Yeah, K-pop. I don't. What Yuna is K-pop. Suzy is also K-pop, but they're also it's mostly actors. Yeah, but yeah, it's not our genre, the actors. But do we need to add more, or is it? I mean, I have room. We can add some other people. If you have other recommendation, guys, we can add more people. I know people ask for the men, and the men we don't talk about. Yeah. Yeah, people ask for that man I don't talk about. No, no, no. I mean, I love Jihyun, and because I love her, I'm so happy I don't read for that association. Because I'm so happy for her present and her future, and I know she's going to be very happy, and she's an amazing partner. So, but yeah, I don't know. No. And also, I think that it's so unnecessary, because I think that, I don't know much, but okay. Krystal and Kai. Jennie and Kai. Kai is everywhere. Beck and Taeyeon. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, wait for me that I'm going to. Let's see if I can. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, wait. I'm going to turn this off. Thank you, guys. No, I was trying this option of turning off the mic that is on this side of the screen. I was trying. I was talking, and I know that it was off, but I wanted to see if you could hear me. You wouldn't respond. I was talking to myself. You wouldn't respond. And also, I changed to this. I know I said that I hate it because the cable, the wire gets tangled everywhere and I cannot move. But since I'm going to be reading for a lot, it's probably that this one is going to run out of battery soon because I had been talking for like an hour. So instead of having some interruption while I'm saying something important, I'm going to get I'm going to put this on just in case to avoid interruptions. Maybe I'm saying something, that is important and all of a sudden, something happens to the mic and you cannot hear it. So yeah, this is why I changed already because I don't want distractions. Also, I don't have my tablet today, so I have to read your comments from the phone, and it's so tiny, the letters. I'm trying to read, but the letters are so tiny. Fluffy is the fastest. Actually, I try to be fast because I feel like nothing is pointless. I'm here. If it's not, okay. I'm seeing if I. Hey, Chartalino. I'm here. Okay. So. I know she's going to get in here. I know it. This is Luna. I know she's going to get in here because she has this thing where the other day I was just scrolling for my phone and she just put her face next to mine like this. She gets jealous of the attention that I show to the screen. Yeah. Oh. Now she's standing next to the ring light. Maybe because she thinks she's doing okay. She's with allergies and asthma. But she's doing okay. She's okay. She has some bruises here and there, but she's doing okay. She has her treatment, so I guess that, the hot days makes her feel worse, but now she's not that. She does cough a lot, like, poor thing. Like, I feel so bad for her when she starts coughing, because it's not like the coughing that we usually do. That is, she moves, like her whole body moves. But she's old. This is what happens when we get old. we start having a lot of issues all of a sudden.
issues that we didn't have, that we didn't thought that we were going to have. Like, oh my God, I don't know, guys. Just if you are in your 20s, if you're about to enter your 20s, just enjoy it. And if you are in your early 30s, also enjoy it. Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Um, I think that my whole immune system it changed um, from 38 or 37 to this year. Um, mm, thank you. Yeah, when I have my online classes, she's always in the middle of the of the recording. She's always shows up, always. You can see her tail, her butt, her head. She's always in like she loves the screen. She loves it. She loves the screen. She loves the phone, because every time with the phone, she sort of like scratches her, her face through the borders of the phone. She loves it. She loves the phone. I was welcomed by allergies development, but I tried. The good thing about allergies development is that your body sort of lets you know when there's going to be a change in the atmosphere, and you start like feeling you start feeling the symptoms. This is what happened to me with the weather changing. Like when I started having those symptoms, like I would notice that very early in the morning I start feeling like like a pressure here in my nose and here in my head, and I just feel very used to be Vanessa. These days allergies pop up after 20s and cardiologists offices are full of 30 years old. The good thing I can say about me is that I can still see very well. Like, I don't know if at distance, for example, we were talking about the chat here, that I see, I have to see it or look at it on the phone. I'm used to like looking at it from the tablet, so from the tablet it's faster because it's easier because the letters are like bigger. So here I have to try to be like this because I cannot see. But I think that overall my site is doing okay. I notice people younger than me, they already wear glasses. I always wanted to wear glasses. I would love to wear glasses. I love how it looks from aesthetic purposes only, and I just cannot get glasses. I will have to get like a fake one. But when you always wanted to wear them and you cannot wear them because you don't need them, life is so unfair. We apparently hit the record hit in the city. 34, and people are going crazy, but they don't know I'm used to the north. 40. What part of Mexico are you from, Akira? I know my army friend is from. I believe she was born in there, but now she lives in Mexico City. But she said something about her town is Zahuatanejo. Is it possible that it's called like that? A town? She always mentions that town. So I feel like I know that town, even though I never been there. But since we had been like online friends for a long time, I feel like I know the place. It's so beautiful. Meanwhile, I'm freezing in Europe. Warmer days will come. Will come, Charterino. I mean, here we are already in fall. So, the wheel the wheel of the of the weathers are changing. The wheel of the year is turning. Yeah, see what Tanejo. Yes. What did I say? Well, I know it ends like that. See what Tanejo. Yeah, now she moved. She's in Mexico City, I think. That is interesting because actually, you guys in Mexico, I say Mexico, I know it's Mexico, but I here with our Spanish accent, we call it Mexico. That's why I struggle so much with writing Mexico because we spell it with a J, so but in English it's with an X, so I never know. Um, and it's like you guys are like a whole, like everything is Mexico City, I guess. Like you have different places, but it's like everything is Mexico. Or like for us, we have Buenos Aires, that is like the capital, and then we have the other provinces, and we have different like cities, like she's not an army. Yeah, my friend is an army, um, and she's a bit older than me, a bit for a few years, not so like too old, but she's the nicest. Like I never had Mexican friends before. I met people from Mexico, like they come here sometimes to exchange or to for school or sometimes for some vacation. But they always leave. It's like they are here like for a month and sometimes they leave. And I love to listen to them talk. They have this beautiful accent. Who is her bias? JK. JK is her bias. Is her like her she is like a JK stan. She is like, and she doesn't change him for anyone. Like is JK all the way. That I remember that when I started talking to her, we were in this army group, and I remember that I used to like JK also. Um, because he's great. I mean, he has everything. He's a great guy. He has the charisma. He's so talented. But then, since I met another armies and her, and they were all talking about JK, 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 and I sort of like I don't know if like that made me like, oh yeah, I better change my bias, like because he became so popular. Everyone talking about him and how great he was, and I was like, yeah, I think the same, but at the same time, it's like um, it's like you can have it, guys. It's not, it's not that, like you know, um, but they are very devoted to JK. Yeah. I was pretty sure Chicharlino was Latin. I don't know why. Visually, I've been told I look Latin or like Italian. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I remember initially when I didn't talk to Chicharlino, I used to associate her name with Chile. Maybe because of the CH. I used to like think that she was from Chile. Um, Beautiful DCT accent is bad, but I have some Chihuahua accent and people find it so funny. But the mix is worth recommend. I love it. I love, and also um, also like I learned when, because we talk on WhatsApp with my army friend, Mexican army friend, and I learned to talk in neutral, or I learned to, and I think that she also learns from me to sort of like understand, because I talk in Spanish, I talk so fast, And you know that we usually don't have the same words for things. um, it's like it's very interesting how this is why I think that having international or having other friends from other cultures, it gives so much richness to your life, because you are more empathic. You find a way to adjust your language or the way you communicate to the other person. And that shows that when you really want to communicate, you can communicate, even if you don't know the language. So, those are the things that I'm like, wow, this what pandemic or the COVID, whatever, what it gave us is this new window of opportunities, of being like, you know, there's other people on the other side of the world, and you can have something in common, and just like you can connect. There's a possibility. I think because of the way you express, I feel like we have some similarities, so that's why it was generated for me, and it just went with it. But I'm pretty sure YY is, if they're not. I think she, yeah, YY, I think she said it. Yeah, that's why I didn't say my favorite bread. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we are so like, and also the people from Spain that they speak Spanish also, like we have so many differences, but it's so cool. It's so cool to acknowledge the difference and still being able to communicate. Is so. Okay, guys, I'm done with the ranting. Sorry, 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 sorry. I'm going to move this because it's. Oh. It's funny how often we don't look like from other countries we're actually from. Yeah. Hey, Hope. Yeah, I'm sure. You continue. We will be here. We were ranting about nationalities. Actually, like being here on YouTube is the first time that someone asked me if I'm Filipino. So I guess I'm sort of finding like my my ethnicity here on the internet. Um, but yeah, I'm a strange mix, guys. Um, Usually, when people give this because of the World Cup and people being like, in Argentina everyone is white. I want to let you know that I am that part of Argentina that I'm not white, and I am Argentinian. So don't believe what people like say. We do have white people, of course. We have European descendants, so there's a lot of white people, but we are also brown. Like we are mixed. We are not all white. Um, just keep that in mind. We are red. We can be brown. There's also black people. So yeah. But yeah, I understand because of the World Cup, everyone saw the players and they were like, "Oh, they're all white. Like, what's going on with these people?" Yeah, but because of the World Cup, people were like, um, were like, oh, because everyone in there is white, and I don't know, guys. Like, actually, like, yeah, there are like, I actually like My family, there's a side of my father's side that they are all like Russian, they are German descendant. Yes, they are. I also have a bit of German in my blood, but I didn't come out like blonde. I have my cousins, like my cousins that we are very close in the bloodline thing, and they are all blonde with blue eyes, and I'm not. So maybe it's because of my mother's side, that maybe she has more like indigenous side, but yeah, we are not all, all white. And I think that we also want this to be seen, because we also have racism here. We also have racist people in our country. So, but I think that it's not racist for skin color. It's more classism. It's more about that. People haven't watched telenovelas, how come? Yeah, but usually in telenovelas, and I think that it also happens to Mexican telenovelas, that they usually cast the white, blonde-eyed people. In telenovelas as well. Like, I remember when I was very young, I was 10 years old, and there was this kids show that it was called Chiquititas. It was about these orphans, these children. They were orphans, and they would make choreographies, and they would sing, and they would have like they would be like, dancing, and very high school musical. But it was beautiful. They were all orphans, but they were all blonde, most of them. I think that there was only one girl that she was the closest to my skin color. The closest. I wouldn't even tell you like she was brunette. No, she was a bit like a mix. A mix. And she was a bit like brighter than me. And I remember that I didn't have anything to compare, like, because all the rest of the cast, and when we would do role play about who would be who, I wouldn't have a member of that TV show that would represent me as my ethnicity. So, yeah. Ah, okay. I recommend you to watch videos of Mexico different accents and find one in the South. I just love it. I don't know. Akira, do you follow? I don't know. I don't remember the podcast. It's not. They are TikTokers. They are called Las Damitas Histeria. I love the way they talk. When they respond to certain tweets or certain comments, I just love it. I laugh so much with them. If it's about the players in the team, very often you have all of this. Yeah, but I don't know why in the World Cup it became huge. Like there were a lot of TikToks, a lot of people talking about us, and like why? Like if we people that we live here, we are telling you that it's not like that. Like yeah, it's a coincidence that all the guys that went there, they're all white, but. Yeah, here racism is very rooted in classism. I was just watching the difference between racism and... As American, I can tell you most people believe Argentinians are white. Yeah. Blonde, Facundo Arana. You know Facundo Arana? When I used to work at the shopping, like he would be one of my customers. He would always come to buy some skincare products for her child, for her daughter. And he's so nice, so nice. I believe he's one of the only like male actors here in Argentina that he's just a great, simple, down-to-earth guy. Like he just enters the store, he's like hello, like very polite, and he's like I want this and this and that, and that's it. And if you want an autograph or if you want to take a picture with him, he's so nice. I just love his vibe. He's so real. People want to see diversity everywhere, and if they don't see it, they'll complain. He was my whole teen years crush, like for 7 years. He is very charismatic. Yeah, he's very charismatic, definitely. And also he has this. He's very like very passionate, definitely. This reminds me of how a lot of East Asians want to watch Asian dramas because they are visually represented and not just given a secondary role. And also, like, I don't know. Um, I think that you know, usually, like, for example, in my case, like I don't go out to get tanned. For example, to go in the sun and for example go to the beach and take the sunlight or get tanned, because actually I can't for the lupus. I cannot do it. That's why sometimes I look a bit more pale, even if I have the potential to get darker in my skin. But since I have to take care of the heat of the summer, you know, the high temperatures, I cannot be around high temperatures, I cannot be exposed to the sun that much. I have to watch out for, I have to wear a lot of sunscreen. You know, when sunscreens weren't a thing, I remember I had to use ton of those, and it was this sunscreen that it was awful. It was all casty, all white. It would leave my body like feeling like very oily, awful. And I was like 13. I had no idea what I was doing, so it wasn't flattering at all. So sometimes when I see that Asians, they do take care of their image, you know, when I see them like even taking a walk and they use a lot of layers, they use a lot of like caps and these long sleeves just to go to on the sunlight. And I'm like, or even to the beach, to even to enter the sea, the you know, the waters, they are fully clothed. And I'm like, why? If you are healthy, like I understand that the sun is dangerous. I get it, but at the same time, it's like you can have your measures, but go and have fun. You are at the beach. You know, you don't have a condition, that you can go wild and you don't have to wear tons of sunscreen like a hat. And I remember once, I had a very awful doctor when I was, you know, just learning about lupus, and I was just being a teenager. I had no idea how to proper care from the sunlight, and he would make fun. He would be like, "Oh, you should wear an umbrella to go out." Do you know what it does that to the mind of a teenager? If you would be like, oh yeah, you're supposed to go out, but you have to bring an umbrella if it's too hot outside. Who would wear an umbrella to go out? Like, you know how sometimes people just like don't, like, one thing is that you do it because you care, but other is because you have a health condition, so you cannot go out, or you have to take certain, you know, certain cares. But now that everything with the skincare, everything is so, and also is so, like, I don't know, everything is so, you have to buy this cream and buy this and buy this and use this, you know. Like, I think it's an exaggeration. And it's very interesting because I remember, I don't have it here to show it to you, but actually, when I was working for a very luxurious brand of sunscreen protection, they launched a new, it was for the 2022, they launched a new format. And when I went to their launch party, you had the potential to win. Like, you had to answer some questions about, skincare protection and all those things. And if you got it right, you got some gifts. And one of these gifts was this. Remember in the K dramas that you have these ajumas that they would wear these like caps, these hats, these caps that have like this side, and they have like this, not just a simple cap. It's just like they have like this side on the sides. They have like this sort of very weird shape. I won one of those hats. I won one of those hats to use when you're at the beach or when you want to like. And I saw it and I was like, oh, this is like the Korean ajumas. like this is what they wear when they go for a walk. I swear, guys, when I saw it, it took me to K-drama land. It took me to K-drama land. I hate people who say there's only white Mexicans, as if they're not the only people on TV and at everything. We know that those people are just trying to impress Americans. Yeah, here too. They always gas the white people. They will put a brunette here and there, but they always like the white people is the one that get the role there. I'm so white that even too white for white people, and I have even Snow White jeans, something like Lily Collins. Oh, there's people that are really white, like yeah. That one, yeah, the huge hat, the grandma flowery plants too. Yeah, the one that is like the part in here, and then you have the sides that is like rounded. It was so, to use it was hilarious, guys. Hilarious. Okay, guys, I'm going to start. Sorry for the ranting. I'm going to start because I'm taking a lot of your time. Sorry, guys. I'm going to start with these two people that I don't know. I don't know who they are. Like, I think that they are actors. Is Lee Sung-kyun and Nam Joo-hyuk. Nam Joo-hyuk, it sounds... Let's see if I can write it here. No. No. I want to see if... So my internet is not working. What? Lee Sung-kyun and Nam Joo-hyuk. Okay. Nam Joo-hyuk. That one, Fluffy. Thank you. Nam Joo-hyuk, I think, was in Scarlet Heart drama with Ryu. Yeah, that's a he, right? That's a guy. I believe that's the guy in the relationship. Nam Joo-hyuk, yeah, the one. And the woman is Lee Sung-kyun. No, this is a woman, I think. Lee Sung-kyun with G's. Maybe if you put Nam Joo-hyuk girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, maybe it shows up. It's like the one of you know when you wrote down the number of the actor is the same but with G's in Sung. Sung ends with a G and Kyung also ends with a G. Sung Kyung. Yeah. Like I know him, but okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know much about her, but okay. She was in Dorto Dramatic. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start then with Lee Sung Kyun and Nam Joo Hyuk. Okay. Him, her, and why ended. Okay, from the side of Nam Joo Hyuk, he got the Nine of Wands. From the side of her, Sung Kyun, we have the Chariot. And why ended is very interesting because they got the card of the Knight of Pentacles. So they definitely were going somewhere. Like the relationship was moving, like slowly, but I think that it was moving somewhere. Like it had an objective, you know, it was very slow. I don't know if they had been together for a long time, but there was this sense of slow and steady, but we are getting there, you know, we are in there. um, I see that maybe the problem, he could be the one that felt the pressure more, because he's here represented in the last stages of the relationship as the Nine of Wands. So probably he felt like a lot of, yeah, in here it says love at first sight. So yeah, I think that they had a lot of potential, but from his side there's this feeling of like he really felt like he had to do an extra effort and probably was a bit tired of sort of sustaining the relationship. Maybe he was busy, maybe he had a lot of personal projects, he didn't have the time, he didn't have the energy, but he felt very overwhelmed in the ending stages of the connection. I think that he felt very tired, like very you know when you try to sustain something and it's taking a toll on you. And for me it could be like the representation of a lot of things, you know, him having his own responsibilities or him having to deal with his own circumstances and him feeling like the relationship was also adding more weight and pressure. I sense that the guy felt pressure. The guy felt cornered. So I don't know if maybe were they married? Does anyone know if they were married? Because with the Knight of Cups, not the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, it feels like they were building something. You know, there's something like maybe everyone knew this couple as this couple that they would eventually get married and build a family and build something long lasting. So probably, you know, the reason why this ended was because of other people's expectations. You know, is like, you know, the Knight of Wands. Sorry, I keep saying Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. I don't know why, but this Knight of Pentacles. I think that it definitely shows how initially you start a journey with someone and you're like, okay, we want to be stable. We want to keep working on this because this is valuable for me. I see the value in this and I want to keep advancing And yeah, I don't know where we're heading, but we keep advancing, and the years pass, and the years pass, and we keep putting the effort, and we are slowly, and we are faithful, and we put the effort, and we are there, and we already are used to each other, we know each other, we are always working, we are always like, we never lose sight of how precious this is, this bond, but it feels like a chore. It feels like I'm putting the effort and like I'm busy doing this, but at the end it's like they couldn't consummate. When you're like, yeah, I'm putting the effort in this connection. I'm working on this connection. I am in this connection. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort and consistency, and we're both very consistent, and we know what we want, and this, and we will be patient, and this, and this. But it becomes like, it seems like it's more like the journey, like they lost themselves in the journey. They lost themselves in the, oh yeah, we are still together, yeah, we're working on, yeah, I'm sure that maybe next year or the other year, yeah, we will continue together, and we will continue, building this. But at the end it's like, yeah, you're always on your way, but you never, where's the result? Where are you going with this? Like, it's been a while. And probably both of them were very, I see a lot of resistance to probably admit that the journey wasn't that exciting anymore. Maybe initially they really wanted to build something together. They wanted the family, they wanted the commitment, they wanted everything. I think that also with the kind of love at first sight, there's something about you seeing this person and being like, okay, this is the person I want to marry, this is the person I want to be forever with. Like, there's this strong magnetism. So I'm working and I'm on my way. But it's been a while and you're still on your way. And also, seeing this him, with the Nine of Wands, probably he had a lot of things on his plate, he had a lot of responsibilities, and he was like, maybe people asking him like, okay, what's going on with your relationship, when are you going to, I don't know, get official, when are you guys going to get married, when are you guys are going to have like your babies, I don't know. And with her the same, with her also, I don't know if you notice, but these two is like they keep sustaining and advancing no matter what, no matter the condition of the connection. So sometimes you have to review how the relationship is. You have to do a wellness check to the relationship to see if your desires are still in that knight that is on his way, that is on the horse going somewhere. But where are you going? Like, where? Like, you keep telling me that you're on the way, but where are you going? And her as well. I see her like being very stubborn and probably putting her whole self into making this advance. It's like, yeah, we will get there someday. Yeah, we love each other. Yeah, definitely these two, I think that it must have been very hard for them to admit that it was over. I see their energies being very stubborn, both of them. Probably, I think that both of them, they tried from so many different ways to keep this going, to keep the relationship going. Because I don't see an ending in here. So I wonder how they are doing today, because it seems like it's hard for them to let go. He was a bit like, I think that it was taking a toll on him. He probably was feeling a bit more like reactive, a bit much more nervous. angry a bit, frustrated. He would get frustrated for the smallest things in the connection. In her case, I do see her like, oh yeah, yeah, we are working on this. Yeah, we're here. Yeah, always on the move, always on the move. But you know, they lost the where. Where are you going? Where are you going with this connection? What is the final destination? Because it seems like you had been on the road for a while, but where? Uh, but yeah, are these people dating others already? Because I see that maybe it could have been even today for them a very sensitive subject to talk about their ending. And I wouldn't be surprised if actually like it took them a while to separate, because I get this very resistant, stubborn kind of energy. Like, we can work this out. It still functions well, so we can resolve this. We can. I don't see other people nor issues. They are the couple for weightlifting Ferry Kim Bok-cho. They were also friends long before dating each other. The problem with love at first sight and idealization of the relationship is that you can only go downhill from them. They were both from YG, so I think that's where they met. I was really rooting for them. After a year or two, there were rumors they got back together, but no confirmation. Yeah, because, I mean, I don't see an abrupt final here. And I also get this. So they could still be going somewhere, and we have no idea. So I wish I could say, like, and also from her side, I get the challenge. So, it sounds like these are people that they don't give up easy, even when they tell you that they're going to give up. Maybe they just needed time out to review, the routine. Maybe, the connection was full with routine. But, I wouldn't be surprised if they are still trying to work this out. Because it sounds like they they would go. They really must have been they are very meaningful to each other. So yeah. Oh, the cars are so jumpy today. Okay. Ryu Hyeri and Hyeri. Ryu Hyeri is the Hanso-He guy. The Hanso-He. This Reply 1988, was it? Couple, ex-couple, former couple. Ryu Hyeri. I'm saying this because, since my pronunciation is awful, probably you are like, who? Who is she talking about? And Lee Hyeri. So yeah, let's see why it ended. Okay. Okay, Ryu Hyeri and Lee Hyeri. Ryu Hyeri, Hyeri, the connection and why it ended. I don't know what to say. Oh my God. I hope I don't get canceled for this. I hope I don't get canceled for this. Remember when I read for this guy, for Ryu Junjol, and Hasohi, and the ex came out in the reading? Well, in here I see other woman as the reason why it ended. I mean, I don't know if it's Hansohi. It could be someone else, you know. This guy he's the typical Libra. I mean, look, let's hear me out. Let's unravel this together. I'm going to have a mate because I'm running out of air. This is already juicy. Look, from his side, from Ryu Junjol, and how he feels about her, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is like the forever bachelor, the forever lover boy. Like probably he's still hitting on her. He is still being romantic towards her, even though it's over. Or maybe before this ended, he was still showing up as the loving, supportive boyfriend, even like in the final stages of the relationship, things were pretty awful. Because from Hyeri's side, I have the Five of Swords. So definitely, she in the final stages of the connection, she was very angry at him. She was like having a lot of confrontations with him. I see her saying a lot of things to him, through text, being very communicative but being very combative. It is like, calling him out on a lot of his BS. So definitely when they ended, she was so upset at him. And I think that she still is upset at him. And I think that probably, he loves angry women. I don't know. But he still is like, he's still showing up as this Knight of Cups. He's like, I still believe in us. I still believe in us. I had always loved you. Your relationship is crumbling, it's falling apart, and you're still trying to be romantic. I definitely from her side, I think that she confronted him in the final stages of the relationship. They had very nasty arguments. And I think that she could be, the one that initiated. But there's something very interesting in her energy. Because every time I read for her, I feel I get very passionate. I get very anxious, because it's like I want to tell you so many things, like I want to shout to your face. And what makes me more angry is that you want to act like you had been the perfect boyfriend all along. And actually you had been awful. And now that I want to end the connection and I want to put an end to this, and I sort of want to attack you and let you know why I'm leaving you or why we are ending this and all the list of things that I don't like about you, you decide to show that you are so nice, so understanding, so lovable, that I'm the love of your life, that you believe in us, that you believe in... Like, you are full of BS. And I think that she called him out on this. But also, I think that there's a correspondency in here. There's a correspondency because, for this guy to be like this is because maybe he had done it in the past. He had been like this. It's like when the final stages or when there's like a huge argument, then he remembers that he has to be loving, and he has to show respect, and he has to show up, and he has to be, he becomes very affectionate when things are on the final, stages, and we probably see her very upset and losing, her temper, because she's like, I have to tell you so many things, and I'm going to tell you right now. And I think that for him, it's like, oh my God, no, like, no, don't tell me this is how you feel about me. No, please don't. I love you. Like, oh no, gaslighting her to the tops. And the reason why it ended, we have the Queen of Cups. Why the relationship ended, we have the Queen of Cups. And I also pulled a card from the Oracle, and they got the card of getting to know each other. So you take your interpretations. I think that he's so toxic. He's so toxic. He doesn't back down. He doesn't acknowledge that the relationship came to this very ugly state because it's part of his doing. It's part of his responsibility as well. But I think that it's easier to sort of put her, to blame, or being like, oh, she's the one that lost temper. She's the one that decided to end us. I actually still love her, and actually no, because you had been gaslighting this poor woman. And then there's someone else in the middle. So of course that this ended. And I think that he still is insisting. He's still insisting, even if there's someone else. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Bye, Chachalino. But also, I think that this could also be that she got him, talking to someone else. I don't think that it. I mean, we could be like, oh, it's Hans or he. But maybe it could be some other woman as well, because this guy wastes no time. This guy is flirtatious with everyone. He sells the fairy tale to all the females that he finds attractive or that he sees that gives him the opportunity. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was someone else and she caught him talking to this person, or she saw some messages, and this is the reason why it ended. But definitely, yeah, there's someone else. This is why it ended. And also, I think that because the tarot, the cards, I think that, sometimes relationships are complex. And I definitely think that this could represent someone else getting in the relationship. But I think that at the same time, this Queen of Cups, it could represent that, maybe Hyeri, she wanted to be this. She wanted to build something, be a mother, a wife. She wanted to be this. She wanted to advance in the connection. And definitely you cannot be a queen with a very emotional, irresponsible child man. You cannot be this. You cannot be a queen with this guy that is like, he gets on the horse and he runs away whenever he wants to, or when he gets bored, and when he finds another pretty woman that he finds attractive, and he finds this all exciting, so yeah, I will go by, and disappears, and then he comes back as if nothing happened, so also the Queen of Cups is also someone that I think that when I think about the question, why it ended, the Queen of Cups talks about when you reach to a very high level of emotional awareness. It's like when you finally master your emotions and you acknowledge your inner world and your emotional needs. And probably this was her finally becoming this and being like, I started to notice that you had been manipulating me and actually I wasn't happy. And that even now, I'm still struggling to get my life together after you, and you are still invading my place. You are still showing up as this. And I'm not looking at you because I'm trying to rebuild my self-esteem and my self-worth and trying to connect with what I want from a relationship that is not with you. The Queen of Cups is looking at her experience, at how she feels after this. It's someone that is not focused on their partner. It's more like, okay, I'm ending this connection because I'm sort of connecting with what is going on with me emotionally, that I was caught up in this relationship for so many years. I'm taking responsibility and acknowledgement of my own emotional needs. And also getting to know each other. Getting to know each other. I think that in this case, we could be like, this guy, they were dating, they already, like, of course that they know each other. But since this reading is about them and not about a third person, getting to know each other, I mean, this is the interpretation that I give from, because this is in Spanish. But yeah, the right translation is getting to know each other. The first base when you know each other. Could this oracle also let me know that even though she's angry, there could be a getting to know each other part two? More like, even though one part is resistant and is angry and is like, I don't want anything to do with you, the other part is still insisting. So could it be that they are still in touch and with the potential of starting all over? At least I know one of the parties, this is what they want. But I don't know, guys. I think that this is why I think that, let's move Hanso, because we know Hanso, he was recent. She was involved. She was mentioned. Actually, like Lee Hyeri was mentioned because these two announced that they were seeing each other. But if we talk about these two, and what I'm seeing mostly from her, from Lee Hyeri, and I also read for her when this whole scandal happened, I think that they have issues still. And when you have one person that is so angry and the other one that is so insistent and so blind and so, like, I mean, she's trying to be strong, but he knows her. The Knight of Cups is the kind of guy that is like, I can be whatever you want. Whatever you need, I will give it to you. Give me a second chance. So, I don't know, guys. Also, these two, I don't get cards of like, it's over. He's still on that horse. So he's still riding. So, he's on his way, I don't know where. Because she's like, I don't want you. But, I don't know. Relationships are complex, guys. Relationships, breakups, separations, and being famous and everything, it's so complex. But yeah, from the cards, I tell you what I see. And I like to expand on the different interpretations because we human, we are complex. So is like I cannot be like, oh, this card means this and this. No, because I also have to check on what it makes me feel while I'm reading for them. And what I can tell you is that there's a lot of toxicity, and the toxicity is both ways. So yeah. Okay, let's move on to Lee Dong-wook and Bae Suzy. Lee Dong-wook and Suzy is she's very popular because she has two men. So yeah, let's see first with her and Lee Dong-wook. Right, Lee Dong-wook and Bae Suzy and White Ended. Hmm. 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 Um, Bezos is a Libra, right? She's a Libra, right? Or she's a Taurus? What are they dating again? No, Hope. Today's dynamic is to look at why it didn't work. You know, the reason why some couples didn't work. It's not to see if they are seeing each other again or not. But yeah, whatever is available, I say it. But um, okay, from Little Wook side, we have the Knight of Wands, very passionate. From Bei Susie, this is why I'm asking if she's a Libra or she's a Taurus, because she had the Ace of Cups. So very available emotionally for connections, or just very eager to be in relationships. This is why I'm asking. And in the middle, why it didn't work? You know, we have the Hierophant. So I think that the Hierophant is more about like traditions, commitment, you know, probably settling down, marriage. And I think that probably they weren't ready for that. But one of the parties wanted this. And also we have the card of chemistry. That it says there's a strong chemistry between the two of them, and this is the reason, you know, why, you know, there was this need. And also I think that the chemistry more comes from him, you know. Lee Dong-wook is with the energy of the Knight of Wands, so definitely I see that the guy, from the first moment he met her to the final moments of the connection, he was so active, like really. I think that if there's people that think that he's like this apathic guy because of his characters, I think that when it comes to Susie, he was very active. He was very, like, it seems like he was in a rush to conquer her. You know, he was like, oh, she's my kind of woman. A lot of chemistry and a lot of sexual attraction, probably. You know, he felt very attracted to her. Which is, you know, sometimes when I read for him, he's emotional, but it takes a while. In this case, I sense that he seemed like very impulsive in comparison to her. You know, he like making the first move, being the one that initiates the conversation, being the one that initiates the invitation, being like, oh, you know, can we see each other? Like, should we hang out more? Should we do this? You know, how about we do this? You know, let's go and do this. Let's, you know, like him really sort of being in a hurry as well. So I wonder if because of the chemistry, he felt like, okay, this is my moment. Like I met this woman and I know that she's the one and I want to marry her, and like I want to offer her so many things. And I think that probably it happened in a period where he was sort of looking for more excitement and passion in his life. And probably, you know, seeing her, he got inspired And he was like, okay, like this is a sign, like I already feel so much for her, like I want to speed this, I want to, accelerate this process, getting to know her, being with her, like I'm sure, like I feel so much for her that I cannot contain myself. I think that he felt like he was being immature. I think that he felt like, maybe also why it ended, because I feel like this night of wands, it feels like the person realizes with time that actually this relationship happened because they were the only ones making it work. It feels like he was like the one that did it all. Like he approached her, went to see her. It seemed like he was very active, like trying to make this work. And of course, from her side, with the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of receptivity. From her side, there's like a lot of good feelings as well. It's like, oh yeah, I like you. You're so fun. Like also, like I'm also looking for love or romance. I'm open, available. I'm doing okay. I'm inspired. Like I like the way you treat me. Like I think that definitely Suzy has like there's something about relationships or connections really rejuvenates her, or it makes her feel like her life is worth living. She is a lover. She probably loves to be in relationships. She loves the beginning of the relationship, the part of being romantic, and open, and just being like funny, and everything is a smiles, and everything is so nice, is so beautiful. And I think that she was very receptive towards him, but I think that he probably did a lot. I don't know. I think that probably this fire also ran out very fast. Maybe because there were some incompatibilities, maybe he wanted something traditional, or he wanted a commitment that, I think that for her it was like, yeah, I like you, I have fun with you, this is great, you make me feel very good inside, but I'm still figuring you out, we are still starting. I don't know how long they lasted, but I honestly think that she cares a lot about him until this day. There's no harsh feelings, there's no like negativity. I think that she really cares about him. She really loves him. She probably, she loves all her exes. Like there's something with the Ace of Cups, that is so full of emotions, that is like, I'm so generous, and I think about them, and I love them, and I appreciate them until today. So it's like, yeah, it didn't work, but I don't have anything negative to say. In his case, I think that there's something about him probably regretting being too impulsive, or actually like doing a lot, probably. Like even in being a bit childish, him being like, why are you acting like this? You usually don't act like this around the women you like. Probably she has, like, well, with the chemistry, there was a factor that he would react in front of her, like maybe because of her beauty, because she seems very sweet, really, like very sweet, like very, there's something very welcoming about her nature. So maybe he felt like, like a shining armor, like a shining knight, and be like, yeah, like because this actually do much, the fire, the impulsivity, and the like from the other side, there's this welcoming, this reception too, is like, yeah, you are being like, you are going full force, and here I am receiving what you're giving me. Like I am not like judging you, or I'm not like being like, oh, you're being too much. No, I'm not ready. No, it's more like, oh, you're cute. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your love and your attention. You're so sweet. But I think that also, probably it would make him a bit more nervous to get something like this. But yeah, religious factors maybe also. Yeah, definitely. But he felt like a teenager, you know. He felt like, wow, like, why am I feeling like this? You know, like, I feel like I cannot contain my excitement when I see her. You know, it's like maybe she was his type, you know, and also definitely she seems like she's beautiful, of course. So, you know, there's not much to. Okay, now let's move on to, oh, Suzy. Oh my God. Oh, these two, very heavy. Very heavy, these two. I see already the cards are like, okay, Suzy and Limino. Let's change positions. Let's play the Suzy on the left and Mino on the right and white ended. Could it be that it ended because of distance? Because they wanted to travel, like they were in different cities or different, one of them wanted to move somewhere and the other one didn't. Past lives. Your new love is someone that you already know. So maybe they could have like a karmatic bond. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I would say this connection with Suzy and Limino, it seems like it was too perfect to be true, you know, because from her side, from Suzy, we have the Six of Wands, victorious already, and from his side, we have the Sun card. So, and white ended the Six of Swords. And then, yeah, from the Oracle past lives. I think that this is a reading that if you look at this, you would be like, but why it ended? Why? If she comes here as the Six of Wands and he's like the sun, the most, you know, cheerful, positive, uplifting cards. I think that it has to do with exposure and probably with the popularity of both. Because she is feeling victorious, she is recognized, she is a winner. And from his side, he's also like the sun, you know, here he comes. Yeah, I don't know much about Limino, but I know that when people mention his name, you know, people go crazy because he is like very loved, you know, he is very famous. So I would say that in here there's like two famous people dating, you know, and I think that there's this feeling of like these two shine so bright and are so popular and are so, you know, they have this in common that they are the best of the best. Nevertheless, I think that their fame got in the way of the connection. Because I think that their fame in both sides, because in this reading it's like, no, it's not that one of them was famous than the other. No, it's like both of them were so famous. And I think that this could sort of create, I think that it's not about a failure, you know, or a breakup. I think that it has to do with exposure and with how people views famous dating each other. You know, for example, if you see a beautiful woman dating a beautiful man, or you see a successful man dating a successful woman, you know, it's like these two are the same, you know, and it's like, wow, that's supposed to work, right? Because they are the best of the best. is like they are each other's counterpart. You know, they are their female version, their male version. But sometimes this doesn't mean that you can have a successful relationship because both of them are so famous. You know, I think that when you see this is fame, guys, it's fame. It's not like two people dating or sharing a life together. This is like two superstars dating, two stars dating. You know, two famous people dating. It's not that it doesn't feel real. It's just that I think that there's this preconception that because both of them are aces, that is supposed to work out and they're supposed to be happy ever after. You know, there's this. Also, the Six of Swords for me is like, you know, one of them wanted to advance. I think that it has something to do with traveling. I think one of them wanted to live somewhere else, and the other one just doesn't want to. It's like, can you leave your career for me? Because, you know, I have to travel somewhere and I want to take you with me because you are my partner. And one of the parties being like, I'm not giving this up. This is who I am. And when I entered the relationship with you, I was this. So see, is for me, it's like too much brightness, too much famous, too much fame and shining, and too much, you know, too much. Like there's too much stardom in here. Like for a K-drama, it would work, but for a real life, you know that in relationships, you know, you have to compromise, you know, and I think that both of them in where they were like, I'm not, you know, I'm not getting out of my horse. Are you getting out of yours? No, I'm not getting out of my horse. I'm having fun. You know, I'm on the spotlight. Yeah, I'm on the spotlight too. So, yeah, I think that it's distance. It's distance because it's like, you know, I am with you because I want a partner. You know, I enter a relationship because I want someone to share my life with. But one of you, at least from the perspective, one of them has to give up something or sacrifice something to follow the other. And I think that there was incompatibility in there. But yeah, with past lives, definitely there was destiny playing here. Like they definitely had to, you know, meet, or they definitely had this, probably this deja vu. Like I know you from somewhere, you know, you're like my soulmate. Like I feel like I loved you in some other life and I will love you again. You know, something like that, something very magical. It can be, but yeah. Okay, let's move on to Girls' Generation Yuna and Lee Seung-gi. Yuna, Lee Seung-gi. And why it ended. Okay. These, these, these two, they really ended. When they ended, they ended. They sort of transform each other, and they are like, if I see you, I don't know you. Why it ended? The death card. So definitely when they broke up, there was a sort of transformation for both parties. For both parties, there was a sense of release. It's like we enter the relationship being like this, we finish the relationship being some other people, being other people. We transform, we transmute, we said goodbye to those people that we were when we were dating. Seeing it from here, I don't know much about Yuna or Lee Seung-gi, but I think that with this swords, she got the Queen of Swords, he got the Five of Swords. So it does give me the vibe that these two, at the end of their connection, they would argue a lot. They would argue a lot. Very, very much confrontative, communicative. It's like if I'm upset at you, I'm going to send you a long text or a long audio letting you know the reasons why I'm upset at you, and why I'm disappointed in you. Seeing from this perspective, it sort of lets me know that the girl sort of felt superior in the connection, because if you see that Yuna is here as this Queen of Swords, so and he's represented by this Five of Swords, so he also would respond back, but he would only respond because she would initiate the argument. So I think that there's maybe he sort of at the end was a bit annoyed by how she would talk to him. Like there's something about Yuna, I don't know Yuna, but there's something about her in this connection coming off as very bossy. Probably him also like telling her that she's too cold, she's too rational, like she is too, you know, too detached, that she always wants to be right, that she always has something to say, something to criticize, something to see the negative side. And also I think that, relationships are supposed to feel like, like there's a balance in power. In this case, I see that she held more power in the connection. I think that it's not so much about the connection, it's more about like, probably she has this way of being, sort of her expecting others to serve her, or it's like, you are dating me, so you're supposed to do this for me, or I will, I'm going to control the situation, like I'm going to tell you what to do, what to wear, what not to do. I'm sort of going to put, the I'm going to like sort of guide you and let you know what you did wrong and what you didn't do, and what I think that you should improve, sort of being like a manager. I sense like someone like um, like very condescending, I would even say. So I wonder if Yuna in this connection, she felt like she had the power, obviously. I think that she initiated the relationship being powerful. Or actually, I think that it's not just about being powerful. I think that she entered the connection with this attitude. And probably at the beginning, he was so mesmerized and he was so like hypnotized, by her character and how eloquent she is, how intelligent she is, how funny she is. She's a very intelligent person, definitely. But I think that there was something about she wanting to manage this connection and wanted this connection to be like, okay, this is how we're going to do this. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, you have to be like this. So I think that for him, at the end, it felt like, I can never win with you. Like, there's always something wrong with me, there's always something that I have to fix, I'm not good enough for you, like, you want me to treat you like a princess, not like a princess, more like a queen. And probably he felt like in that moment he wasn't stable enough. He probably had also his personal issues where he also felt like he didn't have the tools or he didn't have, the resources to sort of be in a relationship like someone with like her. It seems like she's very high profile, high maintenance, so, and you have to keep up with her energy. And I think that he was like, I tried, I really tried, like I really tried to tell you like this is not working, I'm not happy. I try to be whatever you wanted me to be, but I can't. I can't be always having an argument with you. I cannot, like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, really. Like, argue with the wall. I don't want to listen to it anymore. So, yeah. And I think that whatever they said to each other at the end, it was like final. The relationship was like done, done. There's no here. There's no going back. There's no like sweet memories. It was done. It was like as if it never happened. I would say. Feel like the man felt inferior. The man definitely felt inferior to her. I wonder if he was going through some challenges and maybe he felt like he wasn't good enough for her. But yeah, definitely he wasn't feeling that confident. Also, like always having to defend himself. Like I don't know, a lot of arguments. Okay, let's continue with Krystal and Kai. Krystal, Kai, and why ended. I think that starting with from Krystal side, we have the Three of Pentacles. And from Kai's perspective, we have the Six of Wands. And White ended, the Four of Swords. And then from the Oracle, we got the card of Distance. So yeah, definitely from the Four of Swords and the Distance card, I get that, yeah, it was about them distancing each other. Like, I think that something happened, that they just grew apart. They just I think that there were like they didn't even fight the beginning, like they didn't even try to resolve this. I think that it was like, but I sort of see it that in here I see a lot of cards, even from her side and from his side, that it has to do with work, and it has to do with career, and it has to do with maybe them being like really like focused on their careers and their own achievements and what they wanted to do individually with their careers. I don't see feelings actually. Like I think that with from Krystal's point of view, I think that the Three of Pentacles, it definitely has to do with work. It probably, I don't know what her situation with SM was in that moment, but I think that she was reviewing also her work. She was reviewing her possibilities to keep working, her possibilities to associate with other people and earn more money. So she was very focused on this. She was very focused and like, okay, I want to build connections with others. Like, I want to see other people. Also, the Three of Pentacles, I think that it also has to do with, a third person, probably, I think that I don't think that it was about, there's nothing emotional in here, but I think that she just needed room and space to keep working. Also, the Three of Pentacles, it sort of lets me know that it's when you put efforts with others. And you know, I think that probably in the final stages of the connection, she was too busy to think about him or to think about the connection. You know, maybe she was dealing with some other decisions about her career that is sort of spoiled if there had been some feelings for him. She was like, you know, I better focus on my career. Like, and in that sense, I think that it has to do with the nature of the bond, guys. Because I think that in this case, and this is just a tarot reading, but I think that you also have to check out the cards that we get. We are talking about a connection, a love relationship that happened, supposedly it happened between these people. And I don't see love. I see more like work related, and I see more like, oh, I'm going for my chance and I'm focusing on my career and I'm focusing on looking good, you know. So I wonder if for them this wasn't that big of like, oh, we were in love. It was more like, yeah, we hang out a few times and yeah, we had fun. This was great, but you know, at the end, it wasn't worth to fight for this because I see them like none of them move a finger, like to work in the final, you know, the final stages of the relationship when you're like, you know, one of us should do something, you know, at least try to reach out, try to, you know, talk to the person one last time, trying to insist. And I think that in here, if we think about Krystal and also think about Kai, you know, she's a Scorpio, he's a Capricorn. So I'm like, why no one cares that the relationship is ending? So yeah, and also with the Three of Pentacles, I think that also probably Krystal was being advised by other of her co-workers that it wasn't worth it. You know, she had people around her being like, she wasn't alone. You know, she had her team, I would say, that they would be like, you know, this is not good for your career, or you know, this is not, the guy is not good for you, something like this. But I think that it was all about money, like transaction, not so much like, oh, like I'm your friend and I want to hear about you, I want to listen to you, how do you feel about him? No, it was more like, you know, this is not a good transaction, so don't do it anymore. Um, and from his side, you know, also the Seven of Wands, I think that from Kai's side also it seems like it comes from a very egotistic kind of vibe. You know, for him it was like, you know, while it lasted, I look good while it lasted. It made me look victorious. It doesn't matter if it's ending. Like while it lasted, like I felt like a champion. I felt victorious being with her. So, you know, it's more about image, reputation. So, but also I think that maybe he was really popular in that era. He was like gaining more popularity. So it's like, yeah, if this is ending, like, you know, yeah, like, you know, I'm also busy, like, you know, there's a lot of people waiting for me. I don't know, maybe other women as well, you know, sort of waiting to get their chance with him. And he's like, you know, I'm so popular, like actually, like, but yeah, you know, they got the Four of Swords, you know, that is like, you know, I, we are breaking up or this is ending and it's like, I don't have anything to say. It's like, yeah, um, we will talk. We will talk when we talk, and that's it. And also the card of you know, separation also is like, you know, feeling cold afterwards. You know, feeling like, yeah, yeah, I need to distance myself from this. But probably, this is why I wonder if maybe the audience made a huge deal of these two being seen together more than actually them, having, this chemistry or this, I don't know. Okay. Now let's move on to another Kai relationship, a former relationship. Let's move on to Jennie and Kai. Jennie, Kai, and White ended. Reconciliation. I think that they try to make it work because they got the card of reconciliation. But I think that they sort of, if they had a reconciliation, it's more like, it's not like let's go back together. It's more like let's talk so we are in good terms with each other. So if we have to interact with each other in the future, it's not going to be awkward. Um, yeah, also from Jenny reminds me of Suzy. Um, Suzy's feelings, Also, Jenny, she got the Ace of Cups. And from Kai's perspective, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Um, and the connection, why it ended, the Ace of Swords, the people talking, of course, and reconciliation. I think that definitely this is the Ace of Swords also could be like they ended because of rumors, of course, of communication. The Ace of Swords is like, okay, let's clarify this, but also the Ace of Swords is like the beginning. It's like, what do you want to talk about? Like, yeah, this is happening. Yeah, this is the reality. But it's the beginning. It's like, it's not that. And honestly, from Jenny's perspective, we have the Ace of Cups. So I think that definitely Jenny felt very good about Kai. I think that it's not that she had feelings for him, but I think that she was like, and this is a card that also Suzy she got, and it's about this sort of reciprocity towards Kai's advance, probably. Jenny feeling maybe in the mood for love, in the mood for connections, herself feeling this full, this emotional, this her also needing someone to be there for her, or her wanting to be that someone, that special someone, being in the mood for love. Probably the girl had emotional needs, and when she met him, it was like, wow, like he seems so cool. I listened to him, and we vibe. There's like, we are very similar, or like, I like the way he is. She definitely also has a lot of positive feelings towards Kai, and I think that she will, if she ever talks about him, she will also say also very positive things about him. I think that she definitely cares about him. So I wonder if they stay friends, because it is with the Ace of Swords, it also gives me friends vibes. Like, yeah, we were attracted to each other, but we also were like friends. It's like friends that we could be more, but it's not like entirely like, oh, there's this magnetism and attraction. And also, I think that with the Wheel of Fortune coming from for Kai, I also think that when it comes to this connection with Jenny, he also wasn't that stable in that moment. The Wheel of Fortune, I think that it was a very particular moment for Kai. Probably he also was advancing in his own personal lives. It's like, the Wheel of Fortune is like, oh yeah, I was just standing here, and all of a sudden I get introduced to you because it was destiny. We were supposed to meet, or we were supposed to talk to each other and exchange numbers and just talk. And yeah, it's something that happened. It felt like, it's just like, I don't know, it felt like it was something that he didn't expect. But also the Wheel of Fortune is like energy in the move. It's like today you can be feeling very positive about this connection, but maybe tomorrow this will change. It wasn't meant to last. I think that he also didn't have like a proper perception of her and how she felt about him. You know, how he felt about her. I mean, I think that he was in this process of changing. He also was looking for a change in his routine. He was probably looking for some excitement in his routine. To meet other people, to get out of this routinary life that he was in. He always wanted to, like, he wanted to introduce dynamic in his life. Maybe his life or his routine felt very heavy. Uh, but also, I think that the Wheel of Fortune is like, I cannot stay. I'm not going to be the present for you. It's like, you sort of caught me in a moment where I'm going somewhere. I'm sort of like, he also probably was on top of something. He also felt like he was gaining something back, or he was like feeling lucky in his life. He probably was feeling lucky with his projects. Like, he probably maybe sort of was in the sort of glow up as well. Feeling so lucky, because the Wheel of Fortune is about instantaneous luck, a momentum of luck. Like, and everything was going well, was going smooth with my life, and then I met you, and then I started talking to you, and yeah, you are so beautiful, and yeah, but I'm not, I'm just going through this. And also the Ace of Swords, it does give me that it was all in messages. Like, the communication was fluid. But it was like all talk, 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 talk. I don't know why it gives me Aquarius vibe, but it was like talk, talk. What do you think about this? How do you feel? No, it's not feel. It's what do you think about this? Oh, my idea about this is this. It's like, oh, and what is your opinion about this? It's like more like talk, 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 but not, there's not a unity. There's not a unity. There's not a connection. No, no. But I think that they are definitely in good terms. I definitely think that Jennie holds a very special place for him. Maybe because the guy is very nice and she actually sees him like a friend. I saw they sort of give me Venus and Aquarius vibes, so I could sort of see them like being friends, even though they had a small history. Okay, the last one is Baekhyun and Taeyeon. So let's see. Wait. Okay. Baekhyun, Taeyeon, wide-ended. They also argue a lot. I think that until this day, if they see each other across the hall, they're going to argue. I think that these two will hold a feud with each other. Like, it seems like they are the black and white, like the night and the day, because they argue all the time. It's like there's a lot of pinned up anger here. Yeah. Yeah, also they got the card of dissolving. So I think that, yeah, it has to do with their maturity. Probably when they met, they didn't. There's a feeling of them, having to still work on themselves to sort of acknowledge that they deserve love and that they deserved to be loved. There's something about deserving. Back then they broke up because they were very there were a lot of conflicts around them, yeah, but at the same time, they weren't strong enough in themselves to fight for the relationship. They were like, oh, I don't deserve this good thing that is happening for me, so I'm going to give up on it because it's bringing me a lot of issues. So it's more about giving up. I think that they tried, but yeah, the conflict was too much. Um, from Baekhyun's side, we have the Emperor. And from Taeyeon's side, we have the Six of Pentacles. And White ended the Five of Wands. So yeah, a lot of conflict. Like literally people fighting, them fighting, everyone fighting. Like I don't know what happened in there, but it got to a point where I don't know if it got physical, even not between them, but I think that this sparked a lot of aggression between people. So, like it was going to get very bad. So, I think that honestly. I think that Baekhyun, from the emperor point of view, I think that Baekhyun, he really wanted to defend the connection. I think that he was willing, because he is very stubborn, and also this is the emperor. I think that the guy, there was a part of him that he was maybe being a bit delulu, but in his very courageous and exaggerated mindset that okay, it's me, it's us against the world. Him thinking like I can defend this, I can defend us. But I think that he was a bit delusional about what they were going after. And also the emperor, I think that it definitely shows you that maybe from his point of view of masculinity and him being a man in this industry, that it was easier for him to be, in this throne of like, I can fight people and we can make this work because, I'm going to defend us and we deserve this. And being a bit stubborn also, and egotistic, and a bit of like not flexible, being like, oh, we can fight for this connection, but also fighting with her because sort of dismissing how difficult it was for her to sustain this because she comes as the Six of Pentacles. So I think that definitely from Taeyeon's perspective, she was trying to make everyone happy, and probably she was thinking about others. She was thinking about herself, she was thinking about the groups, she was thinking about the company, she was thinking about the fans. Like she wanted to be like she's so empathic, so generous with others and so selfless. I think that these are two very different energies because I think that from Baekhyun perspective it was a bit much more like egotistic. He was like, okay, if we want this, we can fight people and we can defend ourselves and we will win, like the emperor that he is. Him also relying a lot on his stability and him being like, I am someone, so people should respect that I want to date you or that I want to be with you, because I am someone. And from her it was more like, no, but what about the others? What are the others going to say? I don't want to hurt other people. I don't want to hurt other people's careers. I don't want us to be selfish. I think that they were very incompatible. Like the view that they have of the relationship and why it ended is very different. Is very different. I think that she sacrificed sort of to give the audience what they wanted. I don't know if they wanted this to be over, if they wanted to be right, if they wanted peace. Maybe there's other interests as well. She had to sign a contract, or she had a contract, she had an agreement with someone that, it sort of put her in a sorry, there's a fly. In a position where she couldn't be egotistic. I think that for Baekhyun it was easier to raise his hand, from his very privileged seat and being like, you know, I'm going to defend what I want because this is what I want and this is my relationship, and you know, I'm going to defend the relationship. And her being like, you know, this is not just about us. This is bigger than us. And I cannot do this. There's other interest. Oh, there's, sorry guys, there's, it would be like awful if this fly has dengue and it bite me, like to finish my day, you know. But I think that yeah, she was seeing the whole picture, you know, and he was like just seeing, you know, and probably he was also very angry. He was also very angry because, you know, the emperor is also, when you think about a connection, you know, maybe the guy was really into her, he was really in love with her, and he wanted to keep insisting on protecting this. Or, you know, it's like they are not going to push me from this because this is what I want, and I want you and I want us. You know, him being a bit stubborn, you know, a bit not flexible and a bit prideful, I would say. And in her case, it was more like, no, let's think about the consequences, let's think about others. We have a contract, we cannot do this. So yeah. Yeah, and I think that also this also made like them thinking that they weren't compatible with each other, because it's like, you know, she's seeing this from a point of view of like, what about the others, and him also being angry at her, like, why are you thinking about others when it's time to think about us and about our connection, you know. So there was something in here that it was like, at the end they ended up like being angry at themselves, you know. It's like, you are not seeing the things, you are not seeing this relationship the way I'm seeing this, you know. So it's like one accusing the other of being selfish, the other accusing the other of being, you are a coward because you don't believe in us, you are not going to fight for us, you always think about others, you don't think about me, you know. So yeah, I think that yeah, this wasn't very, I think that it hurt them deeply in their pride, because both of them were trying to, it's not that they didn't want to be together, it's just that there were a lot of drama, and what I said in the beginning about the serving, they just had their issues, you know. They inside of them, in their very different personas and characteristics, they both were very, they weren't in tune with the serving, you know. They sort of, I would say, if this is the public being against them and drama, I would say the public beat them. I would say the public took the best of this connection. The drama took away this potential of this connection. This is why they broke up, because of other people, that not because of them, not. But it sort of amplified that probably both of them have different views about life. You know, she was sort of thinking like a mother, you know, like trying to look at the whole picture. And he was more like looking from a very self-centered place, you know, and of like, this is what I want, this is my life, no one is going to take this away from me, you know. But yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, guys. I'm done for today. I hope, thank you so much for staying with me with the whole rant, because we talked for a lot of hours while I was coming and going in the camera and changing. So yeah, we started very, very, very late in the live stream, but yeah. Um, so yeah, guys. I want to finish this year. I hope you have a great week. This was a great dynamic. It was very interesting. Of course, if you have any feedback about these relationships, I wasn't able to read you guys because I was busy shuffling. But then I will read it, and if you want to leave in the comment section, maybe you are a fan of these people and better than me. I also will appreciate the feedback, because we are always learning here with the tarot. So, this is not like set on stone. So, yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. Bye.